What if every single day I had to read 50 more pages than the day before? 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. The challenge doesn't end when I finish the books. It ends when I physically can't keep up anymore. I genuinely don't know how long this is going to last. I think I've officially run out of normal reading challenges, and now I've stepped into the unknown, chaotic, unhinged territory of challenges. This seemed like an incredible idea when it was only on my notes app. But now that I'm actually starting it, I don't know what made me think that this would be good. So today I have to read 50 pages, then tomorrow I have to read 100, and then the next day I need to read 150, then 200, then 250, then 300. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you understand the kind of challenge that we're going to be doing? I'm going to be reading 50 more pages every single day until I can't keep up with the amount of pages that I have to read for that day. So
Hey.
at first, that doesn't even sound that bad. Like the first day, 50 pages, and then the next 100 pages, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then I actually started doing the math. By day 7, I'm going to be having to read 350 pages. Day 8, 400 pages. Day 9, 450 pages. At some point, this just stops being a reading challenge and it's just a test of endurance, really. The worst part is, I don't even know where the limit is. Like, I could be doing this reading challenge for 10 days. Actually, no, I could never read 500 pages in one day, never mind. Actually, I don't know. Like, what happens when I push myself past all of the limits that I've ever known? What if I just don't respect any of my boundaries and I just see where life takes me? Like, it's so scary to think that I'm my own worst enemy. Maybe I'll surprise myself, or maybe I'll just crash and burn. But I guess that's what this reading challenge is for, to find out. Now that I've said it out loud, now that I've told you guys how this is going to escalate to I don't even know where, not gonna lie, I'm nervous, I don't know what's going to happen, and just the thought of having to read, I mean, today is gonna be easy for sure, absolutely, but then having to think of day 8 and then day 9, and then my thoughts just they run out of my control, and I feel like I'm getting anxious over something that I have no control over. And that's why I am so excited that this reading challenge is sponsored by the most perfect partnership that I could ever think of, Headspace. I've been using Headspace to feel more grounded and to help me focus and even sleep better and just relax during the day. I really love their breathing exercises because I know it's such a basic human function, but sometimes it's hard, okay? Sometimes it's hard to remember to take deep breaths and to focus on your breathing. And with these exercises, I can feel myself physically calm down and just focus on my body and breathing. And these guided meditations are just really helpful for people like me that struggle with anxiety. And sometimes, the anxiety gets the best of me. And with these meditations, with Headspace, I've been able to get them more in control and to feel a little bit more centered. I love using Headspace right before any activity that I really need to focus on, because after their guided meditations or even their soundscapes, I feel so much more locked in. One thing that I find really interesting is that Headspace has research that says that 7 days of using Headspace improves sleep quality. And I have been using Headspace for over 7 days, and I can attest to that. Like, I have been sleeping like a baby. My mind is constantly swirling with thoughts of what I have to do tomorrow, of all of the to-do lists that I need to complete, and using Headspace right before bed, using one of their soundscapes, it's like a reward after a long day, and I really love that. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, whether it be by how much reading you need to get done or how much work and studying, or you're just having a really busy and long day, I would highly recommend that you guys try out Headspace, and by scanning this QR code or using the link in my description, you can get 60 days for free. It's a much longer trial than their usual one, so if you've been curious about Headspace and you want to try it out for yourself so that you can see a visible change in your life, I would highly recommend Headspace. Thank you to Headspace for sponsoring today's reading challenge. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using you every single day to keep myself relaxed and grounded and, focused on the reading challenge. So Okay, just take a deep breath. You know what? Maybe we should do a breathing exercise right now because just thinking, and this is the thing, like I can't really control what my brain does because I know that I can just focus on today's 50 pages. But the thing is, before even celebrating today's 50 pages, I'm already thinking of day 8. So I feel like doing a breathing exercise can definitely like help me relax and help me focus on the task at hand and just focus on the 50 pages today. And then whenever I'm feeling anxious again, I can just do another breathing exercise. That's the beauty of Headspace. So let's do a breathing exercise together before we get this started.
Breathing exercise. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out.
Okay, I loved that cat. That cat was adorable. Anyways, now that we've done our breathing exercises, this is the perfect time to get this reading challenge started. And again, day 1 is going to be the easiest. I'm looking forward to these 50 pages. And if you saw my previous reading challenge, then you know that the last book that I was reading was Red Winter, written by Annette Marie. And I'm still making my way through it. I still haven't finished it, but it's okay because we're making progress. I'm currently on page 330, which is the beginning of chapter 7. And since we have to read 50 pages today, that means that today I have to reach page 380. So let me see where that is. If I read 5 more pages, so 55 pages today, I can make it to the end of chapter 11. And that, honestly, that sounds fantastic. I've been enjoying Red Winter so much. I'm officially on book 2, which is called Dark Tempest, and things are definitely starting to get stressful. You know, the deadline of the solstice when our main character is going to be offered up to the god is approaching, and we still haven't found a way around it. So we're just like we're trying to figure out what we're going to be doing, what we're going to do in order to save our main character, and also this brewing romance between our main character Emmy and a certain fox. But you know, I'm just excited to keep reading this story. So without further ado, let's get this reading challenge officially started. 50 pages, here we go. Officially completed today's goal, which was to read 50 pages. I made it to page 385 of Red Winter. Well, actually, Dark Tempest, which is the sequel, since this includes the entire trilogy of Red Winter. What can I say? Like, this was definitely the easiest day that I'm going to have during this reading challenge. Like, I just know. This was like a warm-up session, okay? 50 pages is nothing compared to all of the reading that I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days. I actually don't even know for how long I'm going to be doing this because I don't know my limit yet. And again, that's the most terrifying bit, but 50 pages down. I'm really excited to continue this story tomorrow. And oof, that was very satisfying. Nice. Okay, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow, where I'm going to be reading 100 pages, since every day I need to read 50 more pages than I did yesterday. So anyways, God, I mean, it doesn't really feel like the challenge has started because, again, 50 pages was just way too easy, but I don't want to speak too soon. I don't want to jinx it. I just want to have fun and see how I'm going to do. So stay tuned for the rest of the days in this reading challenge. I hope that you enjoy, and let's hope that tomorrow is just as good as today. It is officially day 2 of reading 50 more pages. I need to figure out how I'm going to be calling this challenge, because basically it is day 2 of the challenge. You guys are watching the video, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, I read 50 pages yesterday. Today, I need to read 100 pages because every single day I'm doubling the amount of pages that I am reading. So yesterday I read up until this point of the book, which was page 385. And as you can see, I've already kind of marked it. Actually, can you see that? I've already marked today's checkpoint. So, okay, can you stop? Like, I know I'm pretty, but can you stop focusing on my face? I've already marked up until what point I'm going to have to be reading today, which is the beginning of chapter 22. Okay, I'm really struggling. This is a very heavy book. I don't know if you guys realize just how heavy this book is, but anyways, since I'm currently on page 385, I now need to make it until page 485, literally 100 pages. As you can see, this is in the middle of a chapter. Literally the second page of the chapter is where I need to read up until. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to read until the end of this chapter or if I'm just going to end here. I'm generally, like I don't know. It's too early in the day for me to make such big decisions. So I think that for now, I'm just going to start reading and see how long it takes me to read 100 pages. And I think it's going to be relatively easy because this is a fantasy. It's pretty fast paced. And I mean, yesterday's chapters were really good because, as I was mentioning, the solstice is getting closer and closer. Emi and Yume and Shiro are on an adventure to practically save the world, and they're definitely against the clock. So the stakes are high, the action is there, the tension between Shiro and Emi is definitely there, and I just love spending time with these characters, so I'm definitely excited to read today's 100 pages, and I think it's enough talking. I think we need to get down to business because I do actually have a pretty busy day, so I think the earlier I can get these 100 pages done, the better I'm going to feel. So without further ado, let's get to reading 100 pages. I have been reading for a couple of hours and I have officially read 109 pages because, as I was mentioning in the beginning, if I only read the 100 pages that I had to today, I would be in the middle of chapter 22. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like leaving chapters halfway, especially if, the chapter isn't even that long. So I checked how many more pages I would have had to read if I just kept on reading the chapter chapter 22, and it was only 9 more pages. So I was like, you know what? The story is good. This author is cooking. I love what she's doing with this story and these characters, and we're about to fight a dragon. So like, I had no issue to keep reading 9 more pages for today. And now I have officially made it to page 495. Oh my goodness. It's like, I feel like these first 2 days are definitely the warm-up for the actual challenge, because 50 pages, 100 pages, it just does not feel like a challenge. And I know that I'm jinxing myself for tomorrow, because 150 pages, now that is a challenge. That is actually a pretty significant challenge, and I don't even want to think of day 4, where I have to read 200 pages. So let's focus on today. Let's focus on right now. Let's focus on the fact that I read 110 pages today, and it was pretty easy. I did it as soon as I woke up, and it just feels amazing to start my day with a good book. So I can definitely say that I'm still doing pretty good with this reading challenge. I know it's only day 2, and I don't want to toot my own horn. I don't want to get ahead of the game. I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm having a lot of fun, especially because I picked such an incredible book. I do think that for tomorrow's pages, I might switch the book, because I don't know if you guys know this, but this book, this huge book, has 3 books in one. It's like the entire trilogy, and book 2 is about to come to an end. Like, I am so close to starting Immortal Fire, but I'm literally only missing this amount of pages to reach the 3rd book in the trilogy. So I think my plan is going to be to switch books after I finish book 2, which is called Dark Tempest, which is the one that I'm currently reading. And then tomorrow, I guess I'm going to pick another book that I've really been wanting to read. I won't tell you guys which one just yet, but just know that a lot of you are going to be very excited that I'm finally finishing that series. So anyways, that's it for day 2, 110 pages down. Tomorrow is going to be even better. I just know it, fingers crossed. Now I need to go to physical therapy, so I hope that you guys are enjoying the challenge, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so here's the thing. It's day 3. Hi, hello, welcome to day 3. So we've read over 150 pages so far for this challenge, but today, on day 3, I need to read a total of 150 pages. And as I told you guys, I think that for today, I really want to continue Red Winter, or, the 2nd book in the trilogy, Dark Tempest. But the thing is, this is the 3rd book, Immortal Fire, and Dark Tempest ends in page 523. And if I'm currently on page 495, I'm going to be reading 28 pages from Dark Tempest. And then instead of continuing on to the 3rd book in this trilogy, I think I want to switch. Like, obviously, I really want to see if I can finish this book this week or during the course of this reading challenge, but I don't want this challenge to only be about this book, so I thought that a quick switch would be nice and interesting and entertaining. So after the 28 pages that I read from Dark Tempest, I still need to read 122 pages, and I'm going to be completing today's pages with Remnants of Filth, Volume 6. Okay, you're not even focusing. I know this cover is gorgeous and you might be intimidated by its beauty, but I promise there's nothing to be afraid of except maybe some emotional damage and trauma. I am so excited, you don't understand. I read Volume 5 a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about these characters because they have become so dear to me. Their pain is my pain, their joy is my joy, and I just love to live vicariously through them, even through their most traumatizing and painful memories. Of course, absolutely. Like, I would follow these two to wherever they go, even if it hurts me. So to say that I am excited to continue with the series would be the understatement of the century. So I thought that this challenge was perfect to have some fun, because reading Danmei is always so easy for me because it's just so action-packed but also emotional, and it's so easy to love the characters and to want to continue reading these books. So Remnants of Filth has a total of 311 pages, but since I only need to read 122 pages, and that's in the middle of a chapter. Of course it is. Of course it is. But before we begin the chapter, that's basically up until chapter 172. As you can see, I've already put a little goal, like where I need to reach. But that is page 118, which means that I'm still missing like 4 pages. So maybe I'll just read this chapter as well and call it a day. So again, for the 3rd time in a row, I'm going to be reading a little bit over what I'm actually supposed to be reading, but it's okay, because I just don't like leaving stories in the middle of a chapter. It just feels wrong. That is today's plan. I'm going to be continuing Dark Tempest, finishing Dark Tempest, and starting volume 6 of Remnants of Filth. So welcome to day 3, which honestly I think is going to be the first official day of the challenge, because again, the first 2 days just felt like a warm-up. So enough talking, let's get this started. I'm so excited. Like, this is going to be an incredible reading day. I can already feel it. So let's go. Hello. It's been like 2 seconds for you, but it's been a while for me, and I have officially finished Dark Tempest by Annette Marie. This is how my copy is looking. Low-key obsessed, not gonna lie. Like, I'm just loving this world, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I can't believe that more people don't talk about this series. I feel like it is extremely underrated, and I probably should have seen the plot twist coming of a certain character's true identity, and maybe it's because they didn't really mention it that often that it kind of just went over my head. So when we finally come to understand, or when we finally find out who this character truly is, I was literally mind blown. Like, I did not see that coming. And the final fight scene between our crew, Emi, Shiro, Yume, and this new character that we've just, what's that word when you, like, what's that word when you, like, save someone from a place? You rescue, yes. This new character that we've just rescued. We were fighting against this dragon that had 8 heads, and then it split into 8 dragons that had 1 head. It was crazy, but it was so good. And then the near-death experiences, like, it was just so good. Okay, like, the yearning is so well done. Okay, I love a man that yearns. I love a mutually obsessed relationship, and it's everything that I want. Okay, like, I'm just loving this series, and I hated that ending. Okay, I'm going to be so honest. I hated that ending because it left me wanting more. I don't, like, Annette, why are you doing this to me? Like, I need to start Remnants of Filth. Okay, you can't be giving me this open-ended ending. Sorry, this open-ended finale where I obviously need to continue reading the 3rd book, but I have already promised myself that I was going to read volume 6 of Remnants of Filth. Life is so hard when you're surrounded by good books. But anyways, yes, now I need to read 122 pages of Remnants of Filth volume 6, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I know I'm still kind of riding the high of Dark Tempest, and I am so excited to start Immortal Fire, which is the 3rd and final book in the trilogy. But for now, at least for today, the rest of the pages that I will be reading are going to be from Remnants of Filth, which, again, this is a 5-star series for me, so I'm not even that mad that I'm going to be switching. I mean, look at this gorgeous artwork. Can you look at this and be like, nah, I'm not excited to read it? Absolutely not. Like, I am so excited to read this. Let's get this started. Chapter 160, The Legend of the Soul Summoner. Moshi brought Gumong out of the treatment room, period. Okay, let's go. Hello. Hi. We have survived day 3 of the challenge. I have just finished my 150 pages of the day, and once again, for the 3rd time in a row, technically I've read more than I had to because, as I mentioned, if I read 150 pages on the dot, I would have been in the middle of a chapter, and I'm just not one of those people that feels comfortable with that. So I read like maybe, okay, wait. If the 150 page mark was in page 122 and I read up until page 131, I can do this. That's like 9 more pages. No. So I read a total of 159 pages today. I mean, I'm not even halfway through, but oh my goodness, y'all. This volume is so good. Don't even get me started. Holy crap. Like the amount of revelations that we've had and the backstory that we're currently exploring has me on the edge of my seat. It is so good. It is so scrumptious. This author put their entire being into this volume. It is so good. It's probably one of the best ones of the entire series. And I have loved all of the volumes of this series. And I just feel like this is one of those where with every volume, it just keeps getting better and better and better because the stakes are higher. You obviously have a closer relationship with the characters, so whatever they're going through, you feel on a deeper level. And it's just so good, okay? It is so good. And it truly feels like we're going towards the finale because a lot of things are being put into place. We're figuring out or we're finding out a lot of secrets and a lot of things that I was definitely not expecting. I'm not even gonna get into it, but oh my god, and honestly, something about Danmei's that can be a little bit confusing is like the family relations of it all, because sometimes, especially in this series, there are some characters that are related, But even though they do explain it, like, oh yeah, he was the son of the father of my adopted cousin. And you're like, for sure, absolutely. So that makes you what, brothers? And you're like, no, he's my uncle. And it's like, okay, interesting. So I will be honest, there are times when I'm reading Danme where I'm not 100% sure how all of these characters are related. But if I had any questions, if I had any doubts, this volume answers all of them, because I feel like the author describes it in a way and sets the scene so beautifully that they leave no doubt in your mind about what's going on, what's happening, and why it's happening. One of my favorite things about these characters is the fact that not everything is totally black and white. There is a lot of morally gray character development going on, and I am so here for it, okay? And all of that to say, these were probably the easiest 131 pages that I have read. Not gonna lie, it was kind of hard to stop. If I weren't doing this challenge, I would have definitely continued reading, but I cannot. I mean, technically I can if I really, really wanted to, but I think I'm gonna rest because I've done so well today. I didn't really think that I was going to be struggling with the 150 page goal, so I was honestly excited for today, but tomorrow, tomorrow I have to read 200 pages in one day. And honestly, like if you divide it in a smart way, you could totally do that. But I do have another job. I know, despicable. How dare I? So I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, like I literally have all of my extremities crossed right now because I really hope that work doesn't come in between me and this challenge. I truly feel like my other job might be my biggest foe in this reading challenge, at least for now. I mean, I don't even know for how long this challenge is going to go. I'm pretty sure I can't read 400 pages in one day, so maybe that will be my limit. But tomorrow I need to read 200 pages, so here is the game plan. This has a total of 311 pages, so basically I need to read all of this, and that amounts to a total of 180 pages. So that means I still have 20 pages left that I need to find in another book. So I may be continuing Red Winter, or the third book in the trilogy, which is Immortal Fire, or I could start another book, or I could continue this series. There's just so many options that I can choose from, and I truly love having that problem. But that is tomorrow's issue. For tonight, I think I'm just gonna go chill, you know, get ready for bed, and watch some very well-earned entertainment, like my favorite YouTubers, or just Netflix or Crunchyroll. There are so many options of things that I can do to reward myself, so yes. The alarm just went off? Wait, is that our alarm? Okay, I think I need to go. Yeah, no, I need to go. Okay, Okay, y'all, never mind. We're good. It's all good. We're safe. It's okay. But I was scared, not gonna lie. I've made a severe and continuous lapse of my judgment, and I'm not here to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. Fellas, I think we're cooked. Fellas. That's not me for sure, absolutely. So, day 4 of the challenge, huh? How y'all enjoying the video? Are you having a good time? Let me just show you the time. Let me just It's currently, okay, you can't even see it. It's currently 10. Oh my god. Yeah. That's not even Photoshop. That's real time. It's 10 p.m. It's 10 p.m. on day 4 of the challenge. Haven't read the 200 pages. I'm already cozied up in bed.
Criminal, offensive.
And I have nobody to blame but myself. I truly brought this upon me. Upon myself. Sure, whatever. But you know what? My mom didn't raise a quitter. She raised a crier. She raised an anxious little girl, but she didn't raise a quitter. So, with 2 hours to spare of today, day 4 of the challenge, where I have to read 200 pages, I'm going to attempt to, that's basically reading 100 pages per hour. I'm cooked. I am overdone. Like, you can't even cut into me. That's how cooked I am. I literally do not have time to yap. I think I just need to accept my fate and try my best, okay? Like, try my best to read 200 pages today. Hopefully, Remnants of Filth, Volume 6, which is here somewhere. Like, I know she's here. I just need to find her. Okay, we found you. Hopefully, Remnants of Filth. Here you go. Hi, this is what I'm going to be reading. Hey, hello. Volume 6. Not sure what you're looking at right now, but... Oh, okay, you're not even in focus. No, you know what? That's fine. You can give up. It's okay to give up. Not for me, though. I can't give up. So... Okay. Yeah. So yesterday, I left off at page 131. Why couldn't I have just organized my day better? Like, I mean, like, things happen. Life happens, okay? Everything you can control, you can plan, but at the end of the day, the universe is going to do whatever the universe wants to do. So, yesterday made it to page 131. Editing Bella, please zoom in so people can see. And then this has a total of 311 pages. Again, Bella, zoom in right here. Not even sure if this is in focus. Okay, let's go cinematography. So I need to read this. Wow, I'm getting some really beautiful shots right now. Okay, literally no time to yap though. Let's get this started. I need to read 100 pages per hour so that I can complete day 4 successfully. So like, I need to shut myself up. Let's go. It's time to pay for my sins. It's time to, what's that word when you like, it's time to pay the piper. I think that's what I'm thinking of. It's time to face the music. It's time to, I don't know. I feel like there are so many sayings for that. You know what? I'm stalling. I don't have time to waste. Let's go. It is, okay, it's currently 12 a.m. Well, actually 12:15 a.m. But the day doesn't end until I go to sleep. And I have just officially finished Remnants of Filth Volume 6. This is one of the most insane volumes that this series has, like, revelation after revelation. Everything that went down, the final battle, but then there was another battle, and it's like, whoa. Like, we are learning so much. And it was insane, but also heartbreaking. Like, this is probably one of the few Danmei volumes where I've teared up because of certain moments that happened, specifically with Gumong. That man, that boy, that cinnamon roll, he deserves the world, and he suffers so much So does Moshi, but Gumong in this specific volume suffers so much. But yeah, I read 180 pages. Today's goal is 200 pages. So since I finished volume 6, I still have 20 pages to read before I can go to sleep. I love you. I don't know why I just threw you. I love you so much. That's a 5 out of 5 star. I don't know if I mentioned that. That's a 5 out of 5. Oh my god, my heart hurts. Oh, that was weird. Okay, it's probably all the sleep I'm missing. Anyways, yeah, I am still missing 20 pages since I've only read 180. And I thought, you know what, guys? Like, I don't even know what my bedtime is. Like, it does vary, I'm not gonna lie, but I have never been awake past midnight if I'm not doing a reading challenge. So this is just very hard for me. And I think that I have been really good with the challenge so far. Like 4 days in, I still haven't failed it. So I think that for the last 20 pages of today, I feel like this is a horrible angle of me. I'm so sorry. I look horrible. Okay, how can I fix this? I do not have, my brain cells are not working. I don't know how to make myself look better. This is just what we have to work with. But anyways, since I've been so good, I literally finished 1 book. Actually, no, I finished 2 books. I feel like I'm going to reward myself. And for these last 20 pages, I'm going to read Alice in Borderland Volume 7. I know some of you, not my favorite people, but I know that some of you say that manga doesn't count, manga aren't real books, and to that I say, leave. I recently got Alice in Borderland, and I have the last 3 volumes. I don't want this reading challenge to be manga only, so this is only because it's midnight, I'm sleepy, and if I pick up another novel, I will fall asleep. So this is just, this is just a little, you know what I mean? Like, I know what you mean. I know you know what I mean. Like, this is the first page. There's, like, reading to be done. You know what I mean? My camera battery is flashing, and that means I need to go read. So, once again, I've been speaking for 4 minutes. Now I need to read the last 20 pages of today to officially read 200 pages. So let's go before I fall asleep or I completely lose my voice. Let's get this party started. Let's go. Woo. I'm going to sleep so well after this, but it is currently 12:32 in the morning, and as I mentioned, as long as I don't go to sleep, the day isn't over. So day 4 of the challenge, I have officially read over 200 pages. Again, I feel like this is just going to be a running theme during the challenge, but the 20 pages of the manga, they were in the middle of a chapter, so I was just like, I'm gonna read up until the end of the chapter, and that ended up being page 40. So today, for day 4, I read a total of 220 pages. Yep. I did that. Thank you so much. Oh my god, I really needed that. Um I honestly, like, this is on me. I really should have planned my day better, but honestly, work just got too hectic and I couldn't really control anything. So I was just like, okay, I'll do it at night. And then the night came and it was like, let me unwind from work. And then one thing led to another. And then I was in bed and I hadn't read my 200 pages, but now I have. And now I can sleep knowing that I've accomplished my mission. And now I can go to sleep without thinking about the fact that tomorrow, literally in a couple of hours, I need to read 250 pages. So, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do because, of course, I could just finish. I mean, I think I'm definitely going to be finishing Alice in Borderland Volume 7 just so that I don't leave this in my currently reading pile for no reason. And this does have a total. Give me a second. I don't even know why I'm doing this right now. I could be sleeping right now, but I just need to know. I hate that most of the manga pages don't have numbers. Like, how am I supposed to know? And now I'm just flipping through trying to find a page number. Okay, page 322. And then there's like all of these that have no numbers. So let's say around 340 pages. And I read up until page 40, so I'm missing 300 pages. But it does feel kind of like a cheat to do 250 pages of a manga because, of course, that's not the same thing as reading 250 pages of a novel. So what I think that I can do is maybe tomorrow I'll read 200 pages of a novel and then the last 50 I'll do manga. I feel like that could be fun. And then instead of only reading 50 pages of the manga, I can do 100. And that way, you know, you like double the pages. So it's kind of like you're reading a novel. I don't know. I don't actually know what I'm saying and if it makes any sense. I think I need to go to sleep. And honestly, after what I've accomplished, I think like I truly need to wind down. So I think I'm going to be doing one of the Headspace soundscapes for bed. I've really been loving this one because it's just so soothing and it puts me to sleep like that. So I think it's time for me to finally have a good night's rest. I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early because I really want to get those 250 pages down so that we don't get a repeat of today. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh, I just realized I'm literally in the middle of the fan. That's so funny. Anyways, good night. Goodbye. I love y'all. I don't know how I did it, but I'm awake. It's currently 9:46 in the morning, and today, day 5 of the reading challenge, I need to read a total of 250 pages. Yup. Wait, do I? Espérate, ahora yo no sé. Did I read 200 yesterday? I'm sorry, I'm confused. I think I did. Yeah. Was that what I did? I'm pretty sure today is day 5 of the challenge and I need to read 250 pages. The only way that I could ever get that done is by doing some Patreon reading sprints. Like, truly, there is nothing that gets me more productive and that helps me read as many pages as some Patreon reading sprints and spending time with my Patreons. Like, truly, the energy that we have cultivated with every single sprint just keeps growing and growing. And I swear these sprints have some kind of magic woven into them because I read so much and I'm always so motivated to read. So truly, literally, the only way to read 250 pages today is by doing some sprints. And sprints are actually starting in 13 minutes. So before the sprints start, I just want to talk about my reading options because I do have quite a lot of them. These are what I'm kind of looking into right now. Of course, we have the manga that I started last night. We also have Red Winter. I'm still missing the 3rd book, which is called Immortal Fire. As you can see, like, it is very clear where the 3rd book starts because it has no tabs. But yeah, so we have Red Winter, Immortal Fire, the 3rd and final book in the trilogy. And then we have the final book in Remnants of Filth, which is volume 7. And since I did read volume 6 yesterday. I feel like everything is so fresh in my mind. I would really love to keep going and, you know, just finally be able to finish this series. I say finally, but honestly, I wish that this series could go on forever. The love that I have for Moshi and Gumong is incomparable. I've never felt something like this before, maybe with Heaven Official's Blessing, but it's been years since I read that series. So to find that sort of attachment again in this new series, Remnants of Filth, it's been wonderful. And I honestly cannot wait to see how this story is going to end. So maybe I'm going to start with this one, but I don't like having too many books on my currently reading list, so I don't know if I'm also going to be reading Alice in Borderland Volume 7 today. This has a total of 329 pages, so obviously if I read the entire goal for today, which is 250, I'm still not going to be finishing this, but I kind of want to see if I can divide my goal between Remnants of Filth and Alice in Borderland because I really want to read this manga, okay? It has a very strong start, and even yesterday, when I was fighting against sleep, when I was fighting against being so tired, I still wanted to read Alice in Borderland. So I don't know how I'm going to be dividing these pages, but I know that I want to read both of them today. So I am so excited for the sprints because I genuinely believe that I couldn't get to 250 pages read if it weren't for the sprints. So in 10 minutes, the sprints are going to begin, and I think I'm going to be starting with Remnants of Filth, so stay tuned. I am a little bit tired, not gonna lie. My eyes are just like still a little bit going through it, but it's okay, it was worth it. It was worth it, and I'm excited to get today started, so buckle up for another day of reading. Let's see if I can make it to day 6 of this challenge. Oh my god, which would be to read 300 pages. Wait, I didn't even think of that. Loca, yo me voy a quedar sin libro. Okay, anyways, that's tomorrow's problem. For right now, I have some sprints to attend to. We are still sprinting. We started sprinting at 10 a.m. and it is currently 2 p.m. So we've been sprinting for a while, and in the span of these sprints, I have managed to finish Remnants of Filth. And you may be wondering, what do you mean you finish Remnants of Filth if you're only literally halfway through? The thing is, And this usually happens with the final volumes of Danmei, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, but usually the finale is like the first, what can I say, the first 100 pages, and then the rest is just extra material. So of the extra material, I'm already on chapter 3, and that is page 148, which means that I still need to read 102 pages to reach today's goal. I was talking with my Patreons about this, and it's just like, I really want to read Alice in Borderland. And I know that some people are going to be like, oh, but manga doesn't count. You know, reading manga is so much faster than reading like an actual novel. But for me, manga counts. And for my Patreons, a page is a page. So manga counts as well. So I think that for the remaining 102 pages that I have to read for today in order to reach the 250 page goal, I'm going to be reading Alice in Borderland. I was also thinking that maybe instead of 100 pages, I can read a little bit over that and then it'll feel a little bit more balanced. So since I'm currently on page 40 and I want to read, or I have to read 100 pages, that would be reading this amount of pages. But I feel like I can totally do a little bit more, especially because I am loving Alice in Borderland. So maybe I can just read until the end of the next chapter after reading up until where I'm supposed to. Let me see. Oh, wait. Okay, so if I read a little bit over what I actually have to read for today, I'm going to be reaching part 14 of Alice in Borderland. And honestly, this feels like the perfect place to stop for today. So I don't even know how many pages that's going to be in total, but this is like a preview of everything that I'm going to be reading for now. I'm currently doing a 30-minute sprint with my Patreons, and as I mentioned, I did finish Remnants of Filth Volume 7. Of course, I'm still missing the extra material, but overall, this has to be one of the best endings to a Danmei series that I've ever read in my life. And I know that I haven't read that many Danmei series, but this is definitely up there with my all-time favorites, like maybe even top 3. You know what, maybe even top 2, but I'm gonna have to think about that one for a little bit before I say that very big statement. So Remnants of Filth Volume 7, the way that this author just keeps throwing curveballs at me, and I never see any of them coming, but this has to be one of the most emotional, mind-blowing, it constantly kept me at the edge of my seat, like I didn't know if to laugh or to cry or to just give myself up to the devastation of the events that were occurring. Like there is so much pain and there is so much emotional damage when you're reading Remnants of Filth, but especially volumes 6 and 7. Oh my goodness, this was just so good. Like you don't understand, like the yearning, the pain of these two characters, the relationship, the way that they fight for each other and that they would give up their lives to be together. It's just so good. Like this is what love is. This is what love is, okay? So anyways, I don't want to spend the entire sprints just talking about Remnants of Filth because I do have some pages to read, a little over 100 pages to read of Alice in Borderland. So let's get this party started. I am so excited for this. And honestly, after a couple of days of reading a bunch of pages day after day after day, I think I really deserve this, okay? I truly, truly deserve this. So let's go have some fun. said that I was only going to read up until the end of part 13 or the beginning of part 14. Well, since I'm still doing some reading sprints, we had a 45-minute sprint going on, and I reached this point like maybe 15 minutes into it. So I was like, why not just read the rest of the manga until the sprint is over? And so that is exactly what I did. So this manga volume has a total of 352 pages, but since I had already read 40 pages last night, that means that I read a total of 312 pages. So 312 my goodness, 312 plus 148. I'm not even going to pretend to know what that is. 312 plus 148 equals 468 pages. That would have not been possible if it weren't for Alice in Borderland Volume 7. But today's goal was 250 pages, so technically, I basically almost read twice as much as I needed to, or almost, because I'm still missing like 32 pages to reach the full 500. But anyways, today's goal was 250 pages, and thanks to Remnants of Filth Volume 7 and Alice in Borderland, I have officially completed today's goal. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I think this challenge is getting to me. I think this constant reading of pages every single day and it getting exponentially larger and bigger and more intimidating, it's like I'm a little bit tired, not gonna lie. I think it's also a mixture of like the sleep deprivation. So I'm hoping that after tonight, after I get a good night's rest, I'll be a little bit more prepared for tomorrow's pages. But right now I'm really looking forward to a break from reading, and I think that I've earned it after reading all that I did today. So that is it for day 5. Yes, that is it for day 5 of this reading challenge. I'll see you guys tomorrow with day 6, where I'm going to have to read 300 pages. See you then. I mean, let's just get right down into it. Day 6 of the challenge, I have officially lasted longer than I thought I would. Truly, I thought the last day was going to be tomorrow, but then thanks to the sprints, I was able to read the 250 pages, and then I went above and beyond, of course, because thanks to Alice in Borderland. But today, since it is day 6, I now have to read 300 pages. And now here's the game plan. I'm actually feeling very optimistic about today. I was feeling very weird yesterday. I think it was a mixture of tiredness and sleep deprivation and just, you know, I just wasn't feeling like myself. But today I woke up, I'm a lot more rested than I was yesterday, and I'm feeling a lot more confident in today's 300 pages. And I realized that Red Winter, I am only missing the last book of this trilogy, which is called Immortal Fire. And as I was, counting the pages to see if I could add this to today's pages, I realized that Immortal Fire has a total of 304 pages. So if I read this book today, and then successfully finishing this entire trilogy, and this is also the last book in my June TBR, and then I would also finish today's goal of 300 pages, I feel like reading Immortal Fire today would be the perfect way to reach my goal, to finish my June TBR, and to finish this book, because I have been reading this for a while. I think it's been maybe 2 or 3 weeks at this point, and I'm really, really enjoying it, but I would love to finish it. I think that's what I'm going to be doing today. And if I ever get tired, I also think so far during this challenge, I've been reading my assigned pages every day in one sitting, just like from 0 to 250, from 0 to 100. I have been reading these pages nonstop, but since this is a considerably higher amount of pages, I thought it would also be smarter to balance them out throughout the day. So, right now it is 8 a.m. in the morning, and, I'm not going to read the 300 pages before I have to go to physical therapy. So I thought, hey, let's just start my morning with some reading. Let's see where I can get up to. And then after therapy, I do have to work. For quite a while, but I think that after work, I have no plans, thankfully. So I think that I believe in myself, and that is the most important part of this challenge. So as long as you believe in yourself, as long as you're feeling optimistic and you have good energy, I think I can read 300 pages today. I don't know if I'm being too optimistic. I don't know if I'm under underestimating how hard these 300 pages is going to be, but I think I'm just excited over the prospect of finishing the Red Winter trilogy and finishing my June TBR. Like, all of those components just make me really excited to start today's challenge. So without further ado, let's start Immortal Fire. Let me just show you guys the first page because it's really cute. Without further ado, let's get Immortal Fire started. I am very excited because Dark Tempest ended right after they had this huge battle with a dragon. So now it's kind of like the aftermath of all of those scenes, and I'm really excited to see how they're going to end this entire series because the stakes are so high. I really hope that we get a good ending. I've never read any books by Annette Marie, so I don't know what type of person or what type of author she is. Like, is she the type of author that would kill off her characters? Does she think that a happy ending is necessary, or is she okay with having an open-ended finale? Like, I have so many questions. I am a little tiny bit scared, but most of all, I am excited to get today's pages started. So without further ado, chapter 1 of Immortal Fire. Let's get this started. Let's go. Hopefully this good energy persists throughout the day, but yeah, let's go. 300 pages, page 1. Okay, chanclas, por favor. Gracias. I don't have much time for this update, but it is currently 10 a.m. in the morning, and I have read I've read a total of 81 pages of Red Winter, aka Immortal Fire. I'm now at the beginning of chapter 11, which is page 608. And since this book starts in page 527, I've read a total of 81 pages, which means that I'm still missing 219 pages to read today. But now I need to go to therapy, so I will talk to you guys when I'm back, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. But so far, the story is scrumptious. Like, everything that I loved about book 2 is here in book 3, but like to the second power, and I am so here for it. But I do need to go to physical therapy now, so I'll talk to you guys later. I think we're going to be able to read 300 pages today. I hope I didn't just jinx myself, but I think it's possible. So I was trying to figure out how many pages I have already read by subtracting the page that I'm currently on with the page that I started in, and I'm currently on page 677. I started on page 527, and that is exactly 150 pages. I am officially halfway through the 300 page mark that I need to reach for today, and it is only 2 p.m. This is fantastic news. So I came back from therapy. Therapy was a grueling experience. I did so much. And I mean, at least I feel good, you know, but it was exhausting work. And then I came back home, I had lunch, I rested for a little bit, and I kept on reading Immortal Fire. And I have made it up until page 677. Is that what I just said? This is exciting. This is very, very exciting. So you can definitely tell that we're reaching the climax because we are currently fighting for our lives. And I feel like I say that at every update that I give for this trilogy, but it's just one of those fantasy series where we're constantly fighting for our lives and running away from danger. And we're always finding different enemies and people that want to take our lives or just want to control a specific weapon that we need in order to save the world from this Earth god that is convinced that humanity is going to be the destroyer of the Earth, and since she is the Earth god, she needs to protect it from us, so she wants to take away our free will, and we're doing everything that we can in order to combat this god that is all powerful, almost unstoppable. And it's just been really fun to follow Emmy as she basically collects all of these different gods like if they were Pokemons. And now we're all just working together in order to stop this from happening. And it's just been such a good experience. I've been having so much fun with this series. I'm low-key, like, I don't want this series to end. I low-key wish that this wasn't a trilogy because I could for sure read another book with these characters. Shido and Emmy have my entire heart. Yume has me in a chokehold. Like, it's just so good. And I'm excited to continue reading, but I now need to leave. Yeah, that's why I have my purse on and I am clothed because I need to go work. I need to go edit some videos. So hopefully that won't take me too long, but I'm not really expecting to be back home before 7 p.m. So hopefully by the time that I get home, I won't be too tired to read the rest of the 150 pages that I need to read for today. And that's going to be it for this update right now, but we still have 150 pages to read in order to complete today's challenge. So I'm going to go work now, but I'll be back. Stay right there. Don't move. Wish me luck. I'm not gonna lie. I would never lie to you guys. So we may be cooked. We may be cooked, fellas. We may be so cooked, actually. We are so cooked. It is currently, can I show you the time? It is currently 10:44 in the afternoon. Oh, I'm gone. I'm not even here. Okay, it is 10:44 at night. Girl, get it together. I got home at 8 p.m. from work. I was editing a couple of videos. I think I mentioned that. And before I left, I was on page 677. Wait, where is it? Okay, yes. I was on page 677 of Red Winter. I'm still missing 154 pages to read before tomorrow so that I can reach my 300-page mark, which is today's reading challenge. And I'm just like, this may be the first time where I feel like I genuinely cannot do this. Just because today has been a very grueling type of day. I've just been working quite a lot. My eyes are itching because I've just been overusing them. And yes, I've been using my glasses, but it comes to a point where it's like, can I do this? Should I do this? I will continue to do this though, because I mean, 154 pages doesn't even sound like that much, pero loca, like, it is quite a lot. It is quite a lot. I'm still missing all of that. And these are like long pages. This isn't like your normal sized book. This is a pretty hefty boy. And that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm enjoying this story. It's just that, you know, this challenge is starting to chip away at my sanity, but like in a good chill way, you know?
Estaba paralizado con mucho miedo y no me podía mover.
So it's currently 10 p.m. in the morning, at night. Girl, are we good? It's almost about to be 11 p.m. So I feel like I'm back where I was on day 4 or day 3, where I had to read 200 pages and I left it until the last minute. I was really good with like trying to balance the pages throughout the day, but then my afternoon got so busy, I just could not find a time to like properly dedicate my attention to the book. And obviously I don't want to half-ass this book because I am genuinely enjoying it, okay? I don't just want to read this or even skim read it and then be like, yeah, I read this. Like, no, I actually want to enjoy the story because it's really good. And so many things are going down. Like, I want to give it the proper attention that it deserves because this is a story that I'm actually really liking. So I don't just want to get it over with. You know what I mean? Pero yeah, so I'm missing 154 pages. It's about to be 11 p.m. and I am a little tired. But you know what? I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try and read for an hour nonstop, and then I'll come back to you guys. I'll tell you how I'm feeling. I'll tell you if I think that maybe for the last 50 pages of today, I'll switch to another manga, or if I'll just push through and really try to finish Immortal Fire. That's what we're gonna do. I don't really want to talk that much because it like the clock is ticking, besties. I just have to believe in myself. I need to release my inhibitions, feel the rain on my skin. No one else can do it for me. Only I can let it in. So yeah, let's get this started. 154 pages left in today's page goal. Let's see if I can achieve it or if this will be the final day of the challenge. I guess only time will tell, but let's go. Let's try our best. This was rough. This was so rough. I was doing great. And then I was only missing 20 pages and I wasn't doing that great. I did finish though. I did finish. Nobody can take this win against me. Give me a second. Here we go. It is 2:25. It's 2:25 in the morning, and I can officially say I finished the Red Winter trilogy written by Annette Marie, a trilogy that contains Red Winter, Dark Tempest, and Immortal Fire. I'm gonna go to sleep, okay? But before that, let me tell you guys, I read today's 300 pages. Will I be able to read 350 pages tomorrow or later today? Only time will tell. And by time, I mean when I wake up. But for now, I forgot I was speaking into a mic. I'm so sorry. For now, I'm going to go to sleep and pray, wish, hope that tomorrow is good. So good night. I'm so tired. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. It is day 7 of this reading challenge in where I have to read 350 pages. Now, last night felt like a fever dream because I fell asleep while I was reading, and then I woke up around 2 a.m. and I was like, okay, I still haven't finished. Let's finish the book. And then I was like, hey guys, I finished Red Winter. I was dead to the world. I wasn't even there. Like, I don't know who recorded that. It wasn't me. But anyways, it is the next day. I was going to come here and be like, you know what? This is my limit. I can't do 350 pages. I have already read 3 entire books and 148 pages of the other one. Okay, well, I have finished 3 entire books. Red Winter, Alice in Borderland Volume 7, and Remnants of Filth Volume 5. They go Volume 6. And I have read 148 pages of Remnants of Filth Volume 7. I was gonna come here and be like, guys, I can't do it. I can't do 350 pages in one day. It's just not feasible. I'm tired. I kind of don't want to read anymore. But you know what? I think I want to go off with a bang. I want to finish off this reading challenge by reading 350 pages and by, you know, making it to day 7. I feel like day 7 feels a lot more satisfying than day 6. So here is my trick. Here is my cheat code. Alice in Borderland Volume 8 has a total of 356 pages. So if I just read Alice in Borderland Volume 8 today, I will officially finish my 350 pages, and I will also officially finish this reading challenge because yes, it's been fun. It's been interesting to see what my limit is day to day, but I think that I've reached it, and I don't want to keep pushing myself because today is also going to be a very busy day work-wise, and I just know that if it weren't for Alice in Borderland, I would never be able to manage it. So yes, let's go off with a bang. Let's read Alice in Borderland Volume 8 and have the best last day. Let's go. I have finished reading Alice in Borderland Volume 8. And I will be honest with you guys, I do think that this is not one of my favorites just because the 2 games that were included in this volume, how do I explain it to you? Like, I didn't 100% understand them because they relied heavily on the rules of a game that I've never played, and they also relied a lot on math. At the end, I kind of understood what the point of the game was, but during the game and when they were explaining the logic behind all of it, I was a little bit like, interesting. But yeah, apart from those 2 games, I still think that this is a very solid volume, and obviously it's a very nice build up into the finale because volume 9 is actually the last book in this series, which I can't believe I'm actually so close to finishing this series considering that I've been reading Alice in Borderland I think for over a year now. I still remember how I felt when I read the first volume and how my mind was blown and how I was loving every single volume. volume, and the stakes just kept getting higher and higher, and I kept on being surprised by the lengths that this author would go to with his characters, with the violence of the games that he came up with all of the mind-blowing surprises and plot twists, and everything was just so incredibly well done. And I'm not ready to say goodbye to this series, but anyways, I think I said that this has a total of 350 pages, but this actually has a total of 360 pages. So there we go. That does mean, since I've read this entire volume, that does mean that I have reached today's goal of reading 350 pages. And with that, I think I have also reached the end of this reading challenge. I know. I mean, I could totally keep going. You know, I could just read more manga and then I'd be like, oh, I read 500 pages today by reading 2 manga volumes. But I don't know. Like, let me explain my mindset. Let me explain the way that I'm thinking right now. I'm not looking forward to reading anymore, okay? And when I start to feel like that, I know that a reading slump is on its way. Either it's a reading slump or a burnout. Either or, I want to steer very far away from them. So I think even though I do like to push myself to my limit and just see where the boundaries of my sanity lies, I don't want to overdo it because obviously I still want to enjoy reading after this challenge. I don't want to burn myself out just for this one video. I mean, I never want to burn myself out, obviously, but yeah, I think I have proven that I can do this challenge. This challenge is probably one of the craziest things that I've done. If you think about it objectively, like, it's low-key crazy how I just kept on reading more and more and more for 7 days straight. Some days were easier than others, but ultimately, I think what made this challenge so fun and at times easy is the fact that I chose so many good books. I mean, we had Alice in Borderland, fantastic choice if I do say so myself. You can never go wrong with Alice in Borderland, absolutely, like, no doubt about it. And then, of course, probably my favorite book out of this entire challenge, Remnants of Filth Volume 6. It definitely takes the cake. It's just so good. And then, of course, I kept on reading Volume 7 of Remnants of Filth, and I did reach the finale, and now I'm just in the extra material, but I'm still missing more than halfway of the book to be able to say that I finished Remnants of Filth, so this is still going to be in my currently reading list. The finale of Remnants of Filth was everything that I wanted and more. Like, I didn't know that I could wish for such a spectacular, perfect ending, but this author, like, through all of the pain and suffering and trauma that this author put us through, I think the payoff was more than what we deserved. Like, it was just so good. It was beautiful. It was perfect. I just loved every single second of Remnants of Filth. And as I mentioned, I think like at this point, 3 or 4 days ago, this is definitely up there with one of the best Donmei series that I've ever read. And I just hate it because I don't have space for more Donmei series. I can move these two. I can move my 2 volumes of The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish, put it on top of The Husky and His White Cat Shizune, and then in these 2 spots, I can put the last 2 volumes of Remnants of Filth. Obviously, I still can't put this one in because I don't like putting unread books on my main shelves, but just, you know, just so that we can see how it would look. Oh, that is perfect. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. But I'll see. So that's where these books are going to be. But then I also read probably one of the longest books that I'm going to read this year. I read the entire trilogy of Red Winter, 831 pages. And I think I spent the majority of this challenge reading Red Winter, the entire trilogy, Red Winter, Dark Tempest, and Immortal Fire. And even though yesterday I did fall asleep while I was reading the last couple of chapters of Immortal Fire, it was still such a satisfying finale to the entirety of this series. I think I am going to be giving this a 4-star because even though I adored the story, I loved the characters, I loved the relationship between the characters, I think I would have loved it even more if we would have delved a little bit deeper into the characters, relationships, and personalities, and maybe backstories. Like, just give me a little bit more on the characters so that I can connect with them even further and form a more emotional bond with them, because at times, like, I understand that maybe the focus wasn't on the characters and it was on the action and, you know, the gods are trying to destroy the world and we need to find a way to fix this. But I think that I would have enjoyed a little bit more time spent talking with each other and like forming that bond. But overall, this was just such an incredible series. I'm so happy that I read this, and I'm so happy that Sunny sent this to me and that she recommended it to me, because it is such an incredible fantasy series. And I haven't read fantasy apart from Danmei. I haven't read that many fantasy books lately, so this kind of just revitalized my love for the fantasy genre. So now I'm even more excited to keep reading more fantasy series. But yes, the Red Winter trilogy, I would 1000% recommend it to you guys. I'm gonna let Editing Bella do the math for me, but in the span of 7 days, I read a total of this amount of pages. In 7 days, I read this amount of pages. I'm very proud of myself. Maybe I could have kept on going for more days, but for once, I want to put myself first and just, you know, stop when I know that if I keep on going, it'll break something in me that I will never be able to recover. So I really hope, really hope that you enjoyed this reading challenge. And remember that you can scan this QR code or use the link in my description to get 60 days free of Headspace. Thank you so much for watching. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive content. I host readathons, reading sprints, and a monthly book club. This month we're reading Project Hail Mary, but next month we're actually going to be reading our very first Danmei as a group, and I don't even know the title because it's like something about a salted fish. Thrice Married to a Salted Fish, I think it's a very interesting name. I had never heard of that series before, but so many of my simpers recommended it, and now we're reading it as our official July buddy read. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, the link is down below. As always, I would love to have you join. And without further ado, it's time to say goodbye, and it's probably also time for me to take a nap. So I love you guys. I'll see you next week, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey Jimmy, you nice, keep going.